A man in Montana faces 690 years in prison or 25 consecutive life sentences. Now, the first question you're probably asking yourself is, holy shit, how many people did this motherfucker kill? Like 60 fucking babies and their mothers, and he gutted them and he tortured them and all that shit, right? And then he buried the bodies in a fucking inside an elementary school where he could then maimed and killed an entire first grade classroom of fucking politicians' children. Nope, didn't do any of that. Didn't kill anybody, actually. 0 kills. So, like, he must have maimed people, chopped off arms and tortured people and stuff like that. Horrible stuff that only the government's allowed to do. Nope, didn't do that either. Lindsey is facing 690 years in prison for operating a medical marijuana dispensary. Now, he's operating this dispensary in Montana. A medical marijuana dispensary is illegal in Montana. In fact, he was in compliance with every single state law. Now, the reason his sentence is so harsh is because he lives in Montana, and like a lot of people in Montana, he owns guns. And according to the federal government, trafficking marijuana, even though you put up a big fucking sign in the front of your store that says marijuana dispensary, that's trafficking marijuana, in combination with deadly assault guns and weapons, is a felony that triggers mandatory life sentences. So he's basically being prosecuted for obeying his state law, running a business, and exercising his Second Amendment. 3 legal acts. Now, it used to be you needed something called mens rea, or evil intent, and then actus rea, which is the evil act to commit a crime. This guy had no evil intent. He owned guns. He probably liked to shoot foxes. That's what people do in Montana. I mean, if I was in Montana, I would shoot like 5 foxes, and like, it would be awesome. But I live in New York, where the Second Amendment is totally not respected. But think about this guy. Like, nobody's coming to defend him, by the way. Like, some libertarians are coming to defend him. But nobody else. I mean, Republicans, Second Amendment issues. Nope. Shh. What are you? Shh. Don't tell him. No, forget that guy. Republicans, 10th Amendment issues, states' rights. No, forget that. Shh. That doesn't apply when you have marijuana. None of those rights apply when you're talking about virtually harmless drug. Liberals, progressives, it's the Obama administration, better leave it alone. And he had guns. Ooh, guns are scary. So, basically, nobody is coming to this guy's defense when he did nothing wrong. He's going to get 600, it's a mandatory sentence, so he'll get 25 years in prison. Maybe he'll plead down to like 300 years in prison. And I meant to say 25 life sentences. So maybe he'll get 300 years in prison, about 15 consecutive life sentences, and that'll be alright. Right? But nobody's defending this guy. It's ridiculous. I mean, think about it. The federal government, using the ATF, can literally arm Mexican drug cartels to quote-unquote see what will happen. I mean, if you ask me what would happen if I gave a whole bunch of assault weapons to Mexican drug cartels, I would say they're going to shoot people. So, they can arm Mexican drug cartels, nobody gets in trouble. The DEA can launder money for Mexican drug cartels to see what happens, which, by the way, the money gets laundered, that's what happens. Nobody gets in trouble. And Geraldo Rivera can get on a plane and fly to Afghanistan and meet up with soldiers that grow opium in Afghanistan on the base.
The fact that here you have one of the best fighting forces in the world ever mounted, and in a sense you're watching as this opium is being grown. I know it grinds at your gut. How do you deal with it? What are you doing about it?
Well, frankly, this is a part of their culture. So while it might grind in my gut, it's what they do. We provide them security, we're providing them resources, and we're providing them alternative. We provide them security, we're providing them resources. We provide them security, we're providing them resources.
Well, the soldiers don't grow the opium. The Afghans grow the opium. The soldiers just protect them. In fact, the president of Afghanistan, Karzai, his brother was the largest opium dealer in the world. And recently it came out that the planes that we gave them to, help secure and boost up the Afghan police force are being used to grow marijuana. Or not grow marijuana, to transport opium throughout the world. So all that perfectly fine. You obey your state laws and you give medicine to people? You're fucking terrorists, extremists, and you have guns when they're legal? This is ridiculous. I put all the links below to all the stories that I was talking about. Somebody help this guy. His name is Chris Lindsey. He's in Montana, and he's fucking done. I mean, maybe he'll get paroled after serving 2/3 of his sentence, so like 400 and something years. You know, he'll get paroled and he'll be all right. But oh, and this is a relevant fact. There's also unrelated charges that they're going to tack on an extra 85 years to his 690, which is fucking ridiculous. Free Chris Lindsey. If I was Batman and I saw Chris Lindsey operating his medical marijuana dispensary, I would just drive by. That's it. I'll be like, whatever. I mean, but you're the fucking DEA. You raid that shit. Ridiculous. I should have put the story out yesterday when it was 420, but like I said, the slogan for legalizing marijuana, it's in our stores means off our streets. In our stores means away from our kids, and in our stores means out of our schools. I mean, and drug dealers don't check ID. Free Chris Lindsey. That's it. It's over.